4 of the John Muir Discovery Award Summer Adventure Challenge.
This week's theme is local history and archaeology. So today we're going to show you how to do a mini excavation experiment. Lots of us don't get the opportunities to go along to archaeological digs, so we're going to show you how to do a small one at home. So our mini excavation experiment is going to involve looking at how different objects decay over time. So for this challenge you need some inorganic objects, which are objects that have never lived. For example, like my metal 5p piece, or this pin badge which has got metal and plastic on it. And some organic objects, so for example this piece of paper and this bit of carrot. So organic objects are things that are made out of things that have lived before. So for example the paper would have once been a tree, and obviously the carrot is a vegetable. So before we bury any of our items we need to make a note of how they look. You can measure them, see what size they are, and write what material they're made out of. Now we've put on the website, on the resources link, there's some archaeological excavation sheets where you can write this information, but if like me you don't have a printer, you can just read the questions and write it down on a piece of paper. So we've suggested that you use a container a bit like this. So it says around 40 centimetres tall, 40 centimetres wide and 40 centimetres deep, but if you have a smaller one that's absolutely fine. You might just have to reduce the number of items that you bury. So we're going to start by burying our first item at the bottom, and if you want to add a layer of compost around 10 centimetres tall, I'm going to bury this first one and Alison's going to add in some more soil for us. So once you've done the first layer, you might then want to add a different item, and I'm going to bury another item in here whilst Alison keeps adding the compost. And then carry on, so at each layer you want to bury a different item. Depending on how many items you want, you don't have to do 4, you can do more than that. You might want to bury multiple items within one layer, and just carry on going until you reach the top of your container. So once you've buried all your items in your container, you need to leave that now for about 8 weeks. So it's best if you can leave it outside. Don't worry if it gets wet. If you've got a bit of yard space or a garden space. If you do need to keep it inside, that's absolutely fine. Just maybe water it every now and again to keep the compost moist. And in 8 weeks' time, we want you to see if you can excavate your finds that you put in that container. So using different materials such as a trowel, toothbrushes or a sieve, and we want to see if you can find everything that you put in there. And when you've found everything, make sure you remember to look at them and write down how they look now compared to when you put them in, and see what differences you can find between the organic items and the inorganic items.
That's it for this week. We hope you've learnt lots about local heritage. Join us next week when the theme will be Pendle Hill at night. Bye! Bye.